Hello friends, good evening. Today we will discuss about the China plus one policy and the PLI, production linked incentive scheme of the government of India. Friends, my topics on general studies and economics are meant for students who are preparing for competitive exams and interviews. I therefore request all my friends to please share my video on GK and economics with as many people as possible by subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos with larger groups so that the, the target group benefit. Now, friends, let us see what is China plus policy. China plus one policy refers to the policy which has been adopted by developed countries, particularly USA, for creating an alternative supply chain to China. As you all know, China is currently the main suppliers of goods and services across the globe. But during COVID times, we have seen that there were serious disruptions in the supplies of very essential items like semiconductors or chips or some pharma APIs. APIs means active pharmaceutical ingredients, which are helpful in manufacturing medicines. So, friends, China, apart from dominating the supply chain, it is using their dominance in factory activity and supplies for advancing their geopolitical interest. We all know about their ambitions, Chinese ambitions in South China Sea and East China Sea, apart from in the Asia, where India is facing a lot of challenges from China. And we also see the tension between Russia and Ukraine. So obviously, the developed countries, they want to disperse their risk. They want to create an alternative supply chain so that in case of crisis, they can fall back upon the alternative supply chain. So friends, India Indian government has rightly seen a great opportunity which has emerged, and the government has taken several steps for taking advantage of the situation. First of all, the government of India has adopted the policy of PLI, that is production linked incentives. Under this policy, the government is providing cash incentives up to 6% of the incremental production done within the country, that is India. And this PLI scheme has been extended to 16 sectors, which consist of your semiconductors, chips, specialty steel, pharmaceutical for manufacturing of API, active pharmaceutical ingredient, which are helpful in manufacturing medicines. Then food processing, apparel, green energy like hydrogen fuel for vehicles, then solar panels and electrical vehicles. So these are 16 altogether sectors where this PLI scheme have been extended. Apart from PLI, the government has reduced the corporate taxes to allure the domestic manufacturers as well as the foreign manufacturers who want to shift their production line to India. Accordingly, the corporate taxes for existing manufacturers have been reduced to 22% from previous 30%, and for new industries, both Indian as well as foreigner, the corporate tax have been reduced to 15% from past previous 25%. Apart from PLI and reduction in the corporate taxes, the government has taken several other initiatives to emerge as an alternative to China as far as supply chain is concerned. Like the Make in India or Atmanirbhar initiative, startup initiative, digitization, like payment banks, payment systems through wallet and UPI, the financial inclusion like Jan Dhan Yojana, and the government is placing a lot of emphasis on new technologies in the fields of Internet of Things, blockchain, artificial intelligence, and we have seen successes in many areas like Aadhaar card and uh, financial inclusion. And government is also boosting the infrastructure, particularly emphasis is placed on creating waterway, rail transport, and air transport. Water transport and rail transport is very cheaper. So their development, particularly under Sagarmala scheme and Bharatmala scheme, where the last mile connectivity are being established so that the manufacturers who are producing in the special economic zones can transport their goods at cheaper cost to the airports, ships, that is ports and railway. So multimodal transport system, which is consisting of your road transport, railway transport, water transport, air transport. So there will be synergy, there will be integration. So friends, we are seeing that India has a very great opportunity to emerge an alternative to China as far as supply chains are concerned, and Indian government and people are rightly taking various initiatives to capitalize on the opportunities. And we will briefly again touch upon the China plus one policy. The advocates of this policy, they have emphasized on three areas. One is your agility, second is your adaptability, and third is your alignment. Agility is essential because the country having good supply chain should be able to respond to sudden surge in demand, either by creating the new capacity or expanding the capacity, and they should be ever evolving the technology. And adaptability, that is the second factor behind success of supply chain, is your adaptability, which means that new things are happening every day. E-commerce has come, big stores have come, And we have seen that the corner stores in our small towns and villages and even cities, they are facing a lot of challenges. And so how they can adapt to these changes of e-commerce and large stores. And there are also business to consumer direct sales which is happening. We all know about Amway and other channels. So adaptability, every stakeholder has to ensure that all the stakeholders are able to grow in the changing world, changing commerce, changing business, changing manufacturing. And third factor, which is important for success of supply chain, is your alignment. That means the interest of all the stakeholders. There are numerous suppliers, numerous producers. There are so many agents of which are catalyst for boosting the business, exports and imports. There are people who are engaged in logistics, that is storage and transport. They are delivery boys. So all the agents of supply chain should grow simultaneously in an aligned manner. Their interests should be aligned, synchronized, so that the country as a whole and the globe as a whole, the world market as a whole, benefit by lower cost and timely supply of goods and services, lesser disruptions like we have seen in the COVID times, and attempts by countries like China to have to advance their geopolitical interest by military and economic influence, by giving debt. We have seen in Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Nepal, and Burma, they are giving loans, and they are actually geographically dominating those countries. So this would end. The West, particularly USA, England, France, Australia, Japan, all have realized that China is a big threat, and India particularly must be promoted as an alternative supply chain. So we are getting success in this initiative, in this area, and we hope that with the support of all people, India will emerge as a very strong alternative to China. Thank you.